Rice prices have gone up by as much as 4 pesos and consumers are already feeling the pinch. Airport authorities are expecting a surge in travelers as the long Holy Week break draws near. And the family of victims in the Cessna 206 plane crash calls out the aircraft's owner. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The price of rice has increased by 1 peso to 4 pesos a kilo. One farmers group says that this adjustment is just too much. Shaila Francisco with the story.
Sobrang laki ng tinaas. Kahit kami nagulat.
Consumers were shocked after seeing prices of rice in wet markets today. In a span of 2 weeks, prices of rice went up by 1 peso to 4 pesos per kilo. Local rice was more expensive due to high fertilizer costs, while prices of imported rice increased, reflecting prices in the world market. Local rice prices now range from 34 to 46 pesos per kilo, while imported rice now costs 37 to 58 pesos per kilo. Retailers like Margie are already getting complaints from their customers.
2 pesos pa lang, nagre-reklamo na sila, umaalis na talaga yung customer. Paano pa kaya kung talagang inano na namin sa yung alam mo yung pagtaas namin, hindi pa talaga siya yung sagad kasi nga doon pala sa 2 piso umiiyak na sila. Paano pa kaya ako kung 3 o 4 na piso na? Kaya sabi ko, ano nangyayari? Anihan naman ngayon. Kahit anong paliwanag, ang hinahanap pa rin nila yung 20 pesos na pinangako. Yun ang laging binabalik sa akin.
The Federation of Free Farmers, or FFF, says that the price increase is too much since there are still stocks left from the 3.8 million metric tons of imported rice last year.
Hindi dapat siya masyadong tumataas ngayon dahil yung carryover stocks natin from 2022 supposed to be yun yung sasalo sa ating supply hanggang pumasok yung dry season harvest, no? So itong pag-increase ngayon sa a little bit abnormal, no? But we don't think that it will continue going up dahil papasok na rin yung dry season harvest.
The group is also warning of tight supply during lean months, with farmers decreasing production due to high fertilizer costs.
Hindi pa masyadong stable yung supply, no? And ang magiging problema natin pagdating ng June, July, August later this year, no? Baka doon magkalalabas yung very tight supply.
The Agriculture Department is looking into sourcing local fertilizers to tame prices.
We have started that already. Siguro ang pinakamaganda lang talaga dyan is that mag-source tayo locally. Kung whether it's compost, organic man, or chemical fertilizer, dapat meron tayo para hindi tayo dependent doon sa ating import.
The government has also allotted 13.3 billion pesos for its fertilizer discount voucher program for farmers. Another staple this Holy Week is fish, which supply could dwindle due to lower catch from overfishing and high production costs. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources is boosting production in aquaculture to address supply woes. It is also set to build more cold storage facilities to avoid spoilage of fish. The tight supply is expected by the 3rd quarter, but for the Holy Week, supply is still enough, though prices may go up.
Isa sa mga factor kung bakit nagkakaroon minsan ng yung pag-meet nung demand, no? Kasi ngayon alam naman natin na napaka-erratic yung fluctuation nung ating petrolyo. Hindi namin nakikita na talagang malawakang kakulangan or pagtaas ng presyo pagdating doon sa supply ng isda.
The agency is also monitoring the possible decline in production of fish in areas affected by the oil spill.
Sa immediate areas kung saan nangyari yung oil spill, halimbawa sa lalawigan mismo ng Mindoro at mga karatig na lugar, inaasahan natin na may magkakaroon ng kakulangan sa supply, at yung mga malalapit na lugar kagaya ng Batangas kung saan malapit sila sa Mindoro at isa sila sa mga market destination, pero hindi pa namin nakikita na pangmalawakan ito on a national scale na magkakaroon ng kakulangan because of the oil spill.
Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
And the family of 4 of the 6 fatalities in the Cessna 206 plane crash in Isabela is calling on the aircraft's owner for proper compensation. In an interview with One Balita Pilipinas, Ana May Camatoy said that the Cessna's owner did not shoulder the funeral expenses of the victims. She added that only the governor of Isabela and their mayor extended help. Camatoy lost her 2 children, brother and nephew to the crash.
Pagpapalibing po, pinabayaan nila kami. Hindi po pala nila sasagutin yung sa morgue, yung mga karo na gagamitin. Sana po ay magbigyan po ng mga mararapat at tamang compensation. Kasi yung kapatid ko po si Val, nagtatrabaho po yun sa LGU, sa BFP, sa fire. May 2 anak. Tapos, hindi po kasi kayang tumbasan yung nawala sa amin.
We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Surigao del Norte Representative Ace Barbers is pushing to institutionalize drug courts. Congressman Barbers told the chiefs that this should hasten the prosecution and destruction of seized illegal drugs. adding that there is a need to amend the Dangerous Drugs Act. Lawmakers recently discovered a practice among PDEA and PNP informants offering assistance in exchange for a percentage of the drugs confiscated in raids. 2 police officers were also cited in contempt in a Senate committee hearing for lying about their involvement in stealing a portion of the haul from a drug bust.
There has to be a specific, focused prosecution dito sa class kasi kailangan mabilisan. Otherwise, ang nangyayari ito, there's a tendency na bumalik sa kalsada, may benta. In fact, there are cases also na dahil sa tagal, yung mga possible witnesses ay namamatay. So, we want a fast and swift prosecution dito sa mga drug offenders na to.
And there are now more and more passengers over at the country's main gateway ahead of the Holy Week break and the summer season. Gerard De La Peña with the story.
Passenger volume at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport has started to build up, leading to what authorities say is the traditional summer peak season. The daily passenger volume of 120,000 at the NAIA is expected to reach 140,000, especially during the Holy Week break when Malacanang added an extra day off, which is April 10, in observance of the Day of Valor. Araw ng Kagitingan is usually observed on April 9, but it was moved as it happens to fall on Easter Sunday.
Itong mga nakaraang mga long weekends, talagang medyo malakas yung surge ng traffic. May pent-up travel, desire for travel ng mga tao kasi prior to COVID, we are one of the fastest growing aviation markets, and ang daming ng mga Pilipinong bumibiyahe at yun nga, ang connectivity natin has improved. With the, one of the fastest growing aviation markets now recovering fast, the surge of traffic is quite talagang surprising. Not surprising, pero it gives you a feeling of confidence that things will recover talaga.
The Department of Tourism is also optimistic that it would reach its target of 4.8 million international arrivals this year after it recorded over 1 million arrivals from January to February.
We are also looking at how to better facilitate the arrival and release of tourists from their point of entry and their point of departure. And that means looking at the lines that they have to go through, reducing these lines and improving the waiting time for them to come in and out of the gateways.
The DOT is aiming to create over 100,000 jobs in tourism this year. That's why it is pushing for training of tourism frontliners, including airport employees.
In light of the challenges that the airport has faced under the Department of Transportation, I offered to Secretary Bautista to train our airport personnel, including the airport security personnel, in the Filipino values of hospitality para ma-ensure po natin na ma-reduce yung negative experience ng ating mga turista as they come to our airports.
The tourism chief also said that she has already issued a memorandum to local government units to do away with requirements such as negative COVID test results and vaccination. This is to attract more tourists. However, the e-travel card requirement is staying.
We cannot do away with all of the information requirements of governments coming into the governments for foreigners coming into the Philippines, because that is also a matter of national security. The e-arrival platform provides a very convenient way of gaining information from at least 5 government agencies.
But returning overseas Filipinos find this cumbersome.
Idagdag pa siya sa iniisip mo eh. So, bago ka umalis, kailangan na fill up mo pa. Kahit naman sa ibang bansa ka pumunta, wala nang ganun eh. Diretso immigration na lang eh.
The Civil Aeronautics Board has also downgraded the fuel surcharge that airlines charge their passengers. This would mean that the fuel surcharge for domestic passengers would range between 185 to 665 pesos, while international passengers may be charged 610 up to 4,538 pesos, which is lower compared to the charges for this month.
April is a peak period. So tama-tama, maganda yung timing ng pagbaba ng fuel surcharge. At ito is significant din, especially for local travelers.
The Manila International Airport Authority has clarified that wearing of face masks at the terminals is optional, but required when inside the plane. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.